I am somehow flying private to the Super Bowl? Well, kind of.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but
Now your destination is on the right.
with you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Greetings, salutations, and thanks for joining me for another video. This video is gonna be a special one. Well, at least a special one for me because I get to try something I've never tried before and probably never thought I would. I am somehow flying private to the Super Bowl? Well, kind of, but more on that in a minute. But then what am I doing here at a supercharger in Kingman, Arizona of all places? All right, so let's rewind about 2 months when the Minnesota Vikings still had a chance. They were actually one of the best teams in the league, although every time they played a really good team, they got slaughtered. So everybody, thought they were like fake and weren't as good as their record showed. And they were right. So around that time, I started getting delusional and thinking that the Vikings might have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. This might be the year, finally. But around this delusional time of mine, I decided to book an Airbnb in Phoenix and to book a flight just in case the Vikings made it. Then came the first playoff game where they played the Giants in Minneapolis. And what did they do? They laid an egg again, basically. I mean, they had a chance at the end, but then again, we have Kirk Cousins, who when it's 4th down, 10 seconds left in the clock, you got no other options. Yeah, I mean, what do you do if you're Kirk Cousins? You throw it 4 yards for barely any gain.
4th and 8, game on the line. Cousins, Hawkinson, he is not going to get there, and the Giants will take over.
I don't know, man. And so instead, we have the Eagles and the Chiefs. And one of the flights that I ended up booking at the time was on a new airline, at least to me, called JSX. And a friend of mine told me he took it from Vegas to LA on a trip recently and said he'd probably never fly normal commercial again. And he said the prices weren't bad either. So he told me to take a look, and I did. And to my surprise, I could get round trip to Phoenix Super Bowl weekend for like $450. And I was like, what? So I ended up deciding to book it back then 2 months ago, again, with hopes the Vikings were going to make it, where then I was going to actually get a ticket with my buddy and we were going to go to the game. Well, fast forward again 2 months, none of that ended up working out. So I decided, you know what? It was going to be such a cool experience to fly private. It's actually semi-private, but out of the private terminals, that I decided, you know what? Let's just go anyways. Let's try to maybe go down there, find some cool Super Bowl parties this weekend, and maybe head down toward the stadium right around game time in hopes that maybe a few scalpers have tickets left and that nobody bought, and I can maybe get one at like a super cheap rate. Doubtful, but there's a little bit of hope, so might try to head down there and attend my first Super Bowl. Although I do have a backup. I do have some friends that live in the Phoenix area, so I'm going to end up probably hanging out with them, watching the game either at a bar or at their house or something like that if it ends up not working out for the game. But it should just be a fun-filled weekend, and I decided I'm not that far away. Why not head down? So you might ask, why am I in my car at a Tesla supercharger? Well, I'm actually in Kingman, Arizona. I left Vegas this morning, and I'm actually headed to the airport in Phoenix. I know none of this makes any sense. So I decided 2 things. One, that I wanted to have my car with me there, and renting a car Super Bowl weekend in a place like Phoenix, not cheap. So decided to bring the car. And 2, after the Super Bowl, I decided, Well, if we're already in Arizona, it's warm down here. It's even a little warmer than Vegas. Why not go camping? So we're gonna do a camping trip after that on the way back somewhere. Haven't decided exactly where yet, but look out for that video coming up soon. So what I'm actually doing now is driving down to the private terminal at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport for JSX, and I'm actually gonna drop my car off at valet there, leave it for the night, and then I'm taking an Uber to the main terminal, jumping on what is not considered private or even semi-private Frontier Airlines for $28, flying back this afternoon to Las Vegas, and then tomorrow afternoon flying private from Las Vegas to Phoenix. Now, flying private is not something I would normally do. Again, this is my first time. Usually I'm looking for the cheapest flights on like Southwest or Frontier like today, or even Spirit, although I really try to not do that one because saving a buck isn't even worth it on that airline. And so yeah, I just thought this would be a fun, cool experience to try, and who knows, this might just be my new way to fly. What's really cool about JSX is no having to go to the normal terminals, no long security lines, no cattle calls waiting for your group like on Southwest, and you can arrive probably about 15 to 20 minutes before your flight. Have valet park your car, and you're right in and you're off to your destination. Now you'd think this has got to cost like thousands of dollars, right? But no, like I mentioned before, I got round trip to Phoenix Super Bowl weekend for under $500. And while that's definitely more than flying on a budget airline, the level of service and convenience might just be worth it. All right, well, I'm super excited, but now I got to get down to Phoenix and I kind of got to hurry. My flight leaves at 3 p.m. today, so we got to get going. All right, so let me show you the screen here in a minute, then we'll unplug and take off for Phoenix. All right, so we're here in the Kingman, Arizona area. Here's Vegas, and we're headed down here to the Tempe, Arizona area. We're gonna charge up right by the airport at the Tempe Supercharger, and then we're gonna take off back to Vegas, and then tomorrow flying back down on JSX. All right, so it says we have 3 hours and 11 minutes, 203 miles. It says we'll get there with 21%. We currently have 96%, and yeah, it's time to take off. All right, let's get unplugged. And you can see I got the rear cargo box on here for the camping trip after the Super Bowl weekend. Oh. All right, let's take off for Phoenix.
Waves and roads, the highway gold is in our hands. Rusted hope and city smoke.
Oh yeah, that last charge was $16.81. And for anybody wondering about what kind of range I'm getting here, since the last charge, getting 291 watt hours per mile. So I think that's pretty good.
Against the wind. Losing things we held by strings for far too long. Set the sun, I know it's young. The siren song, I feel it every now and then. I remember what you said, that it was us against the wind.
All right, so just a little mid-drive update. The Tesla has actually rerouted me to Wickenburg, and it wants me to stop at one stop in between. It said I was gonna have like 22% or something like that when I left, but now it probably because the mountains, whatever, use a little bit more energy. It wanted me to stop in Wickenburg for about 10 minutes. So that's fine. I actually might stay maybe 15 or 20, so then I don't have to charge again when I get to Phoenix. I'd rather not have to stop again after one more charge, as my flight leaves at 3 and I need to make sure that I'm there at least by 2 o'clock, 2:15. So yeah, in this video, you're gonna get the full gamut of US airlines, from Frontier, which is like cheap budget, think probably Ryanair in Europe. And then on the other side, you're gonna have JSX, which is semi-private, but you get more of like a full private experience. By the way, if you are new here, my name is Bryan Hauer, and typically on my channel, I do a lot of travel, specifically camping, a lot of outdoor stuff like hiking, fishing, stuff like that, typically in my Tesla, which I will be doing in my next video again on the way back from Phoenix. But for this one, yeah, we're gonna live it up in luxury. All right, so we've got 74 miles, an hour and 11 minutes to the Wickenburg Supercharger. That is a 150 kilowatt charger, so slightly slower. but we're only going to probably need to stay about 10-15 minutes. Oh yeah, and before somebody gets all crazy in the comments about carbon footprint and all that, I get it. But again, this isn't something that I do all the time. This is my first time in my life ever doing something like this. So I'm gonna live it up and have a little fun this time. All right, well, weather's great. Smooth sailing the whole way. Got a little over an hour left before we get to Wickenburg, and then maybe about another hour and a half or so after that. So I'll see you at the next supercharger. All right, just arrived at Wickenburg. Luckily, there was one spot left. 2 chargers were down, which is actually pretty rare. They had cones in front of them. I haven't even seen that. So got here with 37%. Gonna charge for, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe, and then head off. I do not need to stop in Tempe then. So this will be the last stop before getting to the valet at the private terminal. All right, let's get charged up so we can get going here. I was getting a little worried there, but now it just kicked in. Shows 25 minutes remaining. It is a high usage supercharger, so as you can see, it's setting a limit at 80%. You can adjust it manually if you need to by just sliding this little thing right here and go up to like 100, like right there. But otherwise, yeah, it'll stay at 80. All right, so that 25 minutes remaining is only if I go up to the charge limit I set at 86%, but we're not going to do that, I don't think. Shows right now to get to JSX private terminal in Phoenix, shows 1 hour and 11 minutes, 71 miles left. And it says, yeah, we'll arrive with 22%. I kind of want to arrive with like 40% since I'm going to leave the car with valet and Sentry mode will be on. So I think I'm just gonna sit here maybe like around 15 minutes and hope that we can get that up to maybe around 40%. Because with Sentry mode or camp mode, either of those, if you fall below 20%, it'll turn off. It'll also send you a push notification on your phone that says it's turning off because to conserve power. So in this case, I want to just make sure that I have at least an extra, 15% before it gets there. So I want to have at least 35%. Because it's going to lose a little bit overnight, and then when I get in tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably just head right to a supercharger. All right, we're up to 73%. So let's hit the road. All right, and that charge here in Wickenburg was $11.92. All right, so just about to arrive at the valet at the private terminal here in Phoenix. And you can see I got 46% left. So that ended up working out perfect, and then no problem leaving Sentry mode on until tomorrow. So I'm gonna check in with them and everything, and then I'll see you at the main terminal where I'm taking the Frontier flight. Slumming it today, but luxury tomorrow.
In 500 feet, turn left. Your destination is on the right.
All right, so after a 2-hour delay due to weather, well, I guess wind, I'm back here in Vegas. And I don't think I want to fly Frontier anymore. That was a nightmare. I mean, it wasn't their fault, I don't think, in this case, but yeah, it was not fun. Although I will say that the plane was brand new, so that was nice. But tomorrow we'll get to do it all again, and this time in the lap of luxury. So I will see you guys tomorrow as I head off to Phoenix for Super Bowl weekend. All right, I'll see you guys at the private airport tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day, and I'm just about to head to the airport. I'm super excited. I'll see you guys at the private terminal. Just this one.
No laptops, tablets, battery.
That's in here.
Perfect. Yep. Can I just swap your backpack?
Yep.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yep. You're
Awesome.
all set.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, so check-in took 2 minutes.
Good afternoon and welcome on board your JSX flight going over to Phoenix, Arizona. As you make yourself comfortable, please ensure all personal items fit securely underneath the seat in front of you. Once our paperwork is complete, we'll be on our way. And since we have a short flight going over to Phoenix, go ahead and take a look at the menu that we have in the backseat pocket right in front of you. I will be taking your orders prior to takeoff. Thank you.
For descent, arrival into Phoenix, please keep that seatbelt securely fastened on for the rest of the flight. Thanks.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually begun our final descent into Phoenix, Arizona. To prepare for landing, please have your seats and tray tables upright for smart up stowed underneath the seat in front of you and seatbelt securely fastened around your waist. I'll be coming through the cabin one last time to collect any and all remaining service items and alcoholic beverages, so you can go ahead and start chugging. And anything else you wish to discard. Thank you. We'll be landing into Phoenix shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of JSX, especially this flight crew, it is our pleasure to welcome you to Phoenix, Arizona. Any Chiefs fans? Any Eagles fans?
like human. Have a good day. I think I'm a changed man. That was a lot of fun. All right, so just came out of right there. And car's right here, waiting for me, ready to go. All right, well, that was fun and definitely a huge motivation to work even harder. Now, I don't like wasting money, but that sure seems like it was worth every penny. It's extremely relaxed, everybody's like super nice, and it's completely stress-free compared to my normal Southwest or Frontier flight. So I was gonna talk about comparisons to like a normal flight like I took the other day on Frontier, but they're literally not even comparable. I mean, let's just start with parking. Obviously, I had my car here because I brought it yesterday, but I mean, as soon as I walked out from the plane, which took about 10 seconds, it took about another 20 seconds to get my bag, and then it was maybe another 5 to 10 seconds out to my car. It was literally waiting right there. Now, parking did cost $47 for 1.5 days. So they kind of do it after the first day, which is $29. Then they start charging every hour. So that's why it ended up being that. So it's a little bit more, but it's still, I mean, to have it right there, the convenience. I mean, park at any normal airport, you're still gonna probably spend 25, 35 bucks a day. So not bad at all. And then when you do get inside, it's just like 1 or 2 kind of lounges. I mean, it just feels like you're kind of just at an upscale lounge. Everything is super clean, bathrooms are super clean, and everybody just seems totally relaxed. They got nice music playing. And once they call everybody for boarding for your flight, which today's was about 30 minutes late, it only takes maybe 20 to 30 seconds to walk from where you're at in the terminal to the plane. It's right there. And the flight itself, I mean, it was only probably about a 45 minute flight today from Las Vegas to Phoenix, but it was just very nice. Everybody, again, super nice. You're not crowded, plenty of legroom, which was amazing compared to like Frontier yesterday, which there was like none. Yeah, it's just a lot more relaxed, and where you have a lot of anxiety normally on a travel day, I had literally virtually none today. And so do I think it was worth the $350 price tag compared to the $28 I spent yesterday on Frontier? Hell yeah, I think it was worth it. Oh my God, it was so worth it. It's gonna be tough going back to regular airlines, but I'm sure I'll do it, at least for a while. But yeah, it's definitely some motivation to work harder. So unfortunately, I think that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next travel quick tip or review video. Thanks for watching. All right, and I just got back into the car, and I still have 39%, even with leaving Sentry mode on.